Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Nintendo Pow Block here on the Boss Rush Network. This is episode 429. I'm your host, Corey Deering, and I'm flying solo this Saturday evening. Ed is recovering from a cough. He told me on Monday that he would not be making it this weekend to record because he had a cough. So I'm flying solo. And, I like the challenge of being able to do that. I like doing solo shows from time to time. I listen to a bunch of podcasts, not a bunch, but, a couple podcasts that are solo podcasters, and I don't like to miss weeks, so here we are. People are working, and guest hosts are busy and doing other things, so we're gonna fly solo this week. I'm kind of excited though, because I have a lot to say about certain things that I've been playing and things that I've picked up and some of the news things that are floating around out there. And this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Let me open this up real quick because me and my caffeine, I need it. So here we go. Take a little sippy of this. Delicious. Can't have a good episode of Nintendo Pow Block without some Red Bull, am I right? All right. This is Nintendo Pow Block. If you are unaware, welcome if this is your first show in. I know we're going to start getting a lot of newer listeners just because of Switch 2, so hope you enjoy the episode, enjoy previous episodes and all that kind of stuff. We are part of the Boss Rush Network, a group of people who create podcasts, and we have a website and Patreon and all that stuff. You can support us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you get the exclusive access to the One Up show, One Up podcast every month, once a month. Early access to Expansion Pass, 1 month early access to Book Club, and more for $1 a month. If you want to be a Patreon producer, you can hit that $5 tier. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. But if you can't support us financially, no big deal. You can head on over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can watch all of us and leave your comments and questions below, like the video and all that stuff. If you listen on podcast services, leave us a rating and a nice review. We'd really appreciate that. It's been a busy week, let me tell you. I went to New York this past week. I did not get to go to the Nintendo store. Just too much to do, too busy, and not there long enough. So I am a little bit bummed about that, but I did get some pizza, which I'll be talking about later. But I've also been just been busy, life's busy. Trying to figure some stuff out, get some things, situated, and a little bit of a bummer. Had to cancel a vacation coming up soon just because it's it's just too busy to go. So but other than that, life's good, work's good, family's good. So why don't we just jump into Snack Tendo, because I want to talk about this pizza, this New York pizza. I remember the last time we were in New York on this show specifically, I was talking about it, about pizza, New York style pizza, and New York style pizza has ruined any other pizza for me. I love New York pizza. I think it's easily the best type of pizza on the planet. I don't know what it is. Some people say it's the water. I don't know what it is. Maybe it is the water and the dough. But it's just so good. It's not super greasy. It's super cheesy. The crust is thin, but it's not thin crust. It's not, all kinds of, buttery washed over it, everything. Like the one thing that kind of I don't like about Pizza Hut pizza, right, is like everything is just like butter. It's all buttery and too greasy. And, Domino's gets that way sometimes, but like, I think that's why I prefer Domino's over Pizza Hut is because it's not greasy, really. Like super, you could fill a cup up with the grease. I'm not saying it's not greasy at all because it definitely is, but especially if you get like pepperoni and bacon and sausage on there, right? It's all kind of greasy. But you go to New York and like it's just really crispy and delicious, and the slices are huge, and it's some of the best pizza. It is the best pizza I've ever had. It doesn't matter where you go. Most of the pizza there is really good. I haven't had a bad pizza experience there. Um, I I wasn't leaving New York without pizza. I actually went, I missed lunch on Thursday because I had to do some work stuff. But even after we went out, I went to New York for work, right? I don't remember if I mentioned that at the top of this conversation or not. I went to New York for work. We had, like a team dinner on Thursday night before we kind of disbanded, to go home and do whatever. Some people were staying over the weekend, whatever. I went home on Friday, but I went right from team dinner, which I had a hamburger, right? Like whatever. We went to this Mediterranean place and they had all kinds of appetizers and stuff that was really good. But like I had a hamburger and it was really good too. But I went right from there to go get 2 slices of pizza because I wasn't leaving New York. It was a bad decision in terms of like the way I felt afterwards, but man, it was so good. The pizza was so good. It was worth it. I wish there was a way to just like bring it home with me. It's that good. I wish I could have New York pizza all the time. I would I would eat like I would eat it exclusively if I could. Um it's that good. Uh so yeah, but even like Thursday morning, we had, just kind of moving on from the pizza. If you are in New York and you have never had their pizza, you need to go get it. You need to have New York pizza. It's delicious. It's amazing. Uh, but Thursday morning, um, they had at the hotel we stayed at, we got to go up to like the lounge area and had, this big, huge breakfast of like eggs and bacon and, fruits and croissants and bagels and, New York staples that are just amazing. It was all really good. Uh, I don't really have anything bad to say about the food while I was there. I probably gained like 10 pounds. It's fine. It's fine. We walked everywhere. I probably walked it off, right? Sure. Is there anything else? I mean, the thing though too is like I had on Thursday night I had New York style pizza, and then tonight with the kids we had a pizza party and we had Domino's pizza. Which, look, Domino's is good, right? But it's not New York's pizza. Let's be honest. I know people have their opinions on Domino's. Some Domino's is good, some Domino's is bad. We have a good Domino's by us, so it's fine with me. Uh, but other than that, like, you know, pizza, man, pizza's really good. All right, let's get into playing with power. I've been playing a lot of different things actually over the course of the last week. My kids are really starting to get into games now. It's really fun to see them get into games, especially because, like, I'm not really. You're never really sure how to introduce them to games, and then you just kind of wing it and throw them into something, right? So, uh, let's start with the games I've been playing with my kids. Uh, my son and I have been playing through the Power Rangers game, Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. Man, so earlier this year we beat TMNT Shredder's Revenge, and that is an amazing beat 'em up, right? It's got all these cool challenges and arcade modes, and really hits the mark in terms of old school beat 'em ups and the way they're supposed to feel, or modernizing the way they're supposed to feel, and adding things like leveling systems, and adding, moves as you level up, and unlocking characters at the end, and DLC and stuff. It's really well done, right? TMNT Shredder's Revenge is really well done. And I don't want to take anything away from Digital Eclipse, right? Because they do amazing work on the Atari 50 collection, and they did the Mega Man Legacy collection, and I think they even did the Cowabunga collection for Ninja Turtles, and it was amazing. And I am about 95% sure that Power Rangers Rita's Rewind is their first original title. It's, man, I don't know if it's because I played it right after TMNT or what, but it is not an amazing game, folks. It's like the beat 'em up stuff is serviceable, right? The side scrolling beat 'em up stuff is serviceable, but it feels a little laggy. Like it feels like the button inputs, like it just doesn't feel like it's super responsive, right? And I don't know if it's because it's the Switch version or if it just feels like that, but like sometimes I feel like when I press the punch button, it takes a while for to the point where I know I'm punching enemies when I'm supposed to, or at least when I, in TMNT I'm supposed to, and they punch the enemies. But in this game, it's so slow to respond that sometimes the enemies hit me way after I hit the button, and I'm like, I hit the punch button. I don't know what else to do, and it's super unresponsive. I think the Zord stuff and the motorcycle stuff, the fake Mode 7 stuff that they try to pull off, is it's an interesting concept, but it's not amazing. It's just not amazing. And then the Megazord stuff is atrocious. I hate the Megazord stuff where you're from first person perspective of the Power Rangers inside the Megazord, and you have to walk towards the enemy, lumber towards the enemy, and then lean right and left as they're shooting projectiles at you, whether it's lasers or bombs or rocks or something and then once you get close to the enemy, you have two buttons that punch, right arm and left arm. You're supposed to punch the enemy, and if you miss, the enemy dodges out of the way and then does this charge attack, and you're supposed to dodge left or right from that from the enemy, right? And so sometimes the timing is off for the dodges. It just doesn't feel very consistent, and it's extremely frustrating. And my son loves it because he loves the Power Rangers. He's become really obsessed with the Power Rangers, which is great. I'm super glad. I love the Power Rangers, but he wants to play the game, and he's going to be 4 in a month, right? So he doesn't understand that this is he just thinks it's a Power Rangers game and it's fun because it's Power Rangers, right? Kind of like we used to when we were little and we got a licensed game. We were like, oh man, Ninja Turtles on NES is amazing, except the swimming part, and that's all the further we ever got because we didn't know how else to play it. Or the NES port of the arcade game was kind of like the arcade game. But yeah, it's just, this Power Rangers game is really rough. I can't wait till we're done. We are on the last level, and I know there's an update out for it now. That I think they added a little bit of RPG elements, not RPG elements, but upgrades to your Rangers to make them faster and their defense higher and stuff, which is fine, but man, it's just, I don't know. It's rough. It's not amazing. I think if they did a follow-up, they could take some feedback and make a second go around better. But I don't know what you do from here. My son and I are on the last level, and it was really frustrating earlier, to the point where I haven't had the urge to throw a controller in probably over a decade plus, right? I think the last time I had the urge to throw a controller was the first Assassin's Creed game. uh, so, which was what, almost 20 years ago. This, God, man, Assassin's Creed is gonna be like, oh my gosh. And the final boss made me like, we are at like Robo Rita, and it's not wonderful. So that's where we're at, and it's fine. But my son and I have also been playing Yoshi's Crafted World, and he really loves it, and I'm glad he likes it. It's simple enough. He's finally getting the hang of like jumping and moving around, and he can like move and jump really well, and it's really nice. I mean, obviously we're playing on mellow mode, but he's really into this. Like, I can throw the eggs. I can, like, he knows how to throw the eggs. He knows how to, like, he knows when to jump on things. He's really pretty decent at it on like an elementary level, and like just like completing stages is impressive for a 3-year-old. So, and like I just kind of follow behind him. I don't really like, I play with him, but I don't really play the game. I just kind of follow him, right, to make sure he doesn't like, I don't know, just to kind of like steer him in the right direction and whatever. And it's become less and less of that lately, though, which is really cool. I'm really proud of him, actually. It takes a lot of dexterity and a lot of coordination to do that. And my son is like strangely extra coordinated for a 3-year-old. Like he really can. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but he's doing really well, and I'm really happy that he's doing well at it. Gives me hope for the future, everybody. Not everybody is going to be a tablet gamer. But all of us, the big thing every weekend recently used to be Mario Kart, right? My kids and I and my wife would sit down and play Mario Kart, but now it's all about Mario Party Jamboree, everybody. It's all about Mario Party Jamboree. We usually play like 2 games a night. And my kids love it. My son it's funny because like my son knows how to play the game, but he doesn't like understand, like he just kind of does whatever he wants, right? Like, he's 3 spaces from a star on one board, but like there's this fork in the road, and the left path will be 3 spots to the star, and then you take the right path and it's like 38 plus to the star, and he goes right because he thinks it's funny. Or like he like aims for the Bowser spaces, and he aims for like the bad things because he thinks it's funny. So he's like the chaos in this board game, right? Whereas my daughter takes it super seriously, and my wife is pretty serious about it. And I'm just kind of there to play because I like playing games with my kids, and I like playing games as a family. It's something that I didn't really think was going to happen, and we've kind of all found some games to play together, and it's really nice. And my wife actually won tonight, the games we played tonight, which was really fun. So I'm just kind of there to play, and I Mario Kart, it's really hard for me to not just play through muscle memory, right? So like I always win in Mario Kart just because it's muscle memory. These courses that I've been playing since the Wii U, right? 2013, 2012 when Mario Kart came out. But Mario Party, it's a lot easier to kind of like let them win or let them do certain things, right? And like I kind of do mediocrely at the mini games, or try to help my son out on certain mini games when and so yeah, I just kind of like let them have fun and try to win, and it's really fun to watch and play together. So I gotta tell you though, my daughter's like really competitive at it. and she, like, when she's losing, she gets really upset, and when she's winning, she gets really excited and like makes fun of people, which is kind of wrong, but also like really funny at the same time. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been playing with my family. In terms of me by myself, I've really just been sticking with Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem Engage. I have gotten to a point where I don't want to spoil any story things in case anybody wants to play this who's listening to this episode, but I've gotten to a point where I'm kind of finding a lot of new emblems, and let's just say I've lost some old emblems and am finding newer emblems. And I'm in the fourth kingdom, which is cool. I'm searching for another emblem ring. So that's kind of cool. It's really, I'm really loving it. I'm like I'm seriously like 40 hours into this game. I can't put it down. I stay up late playing it. I have I can't put it down. This is the most game I've played in a long time. And it's because of the mobile game. The mobile game got me into this, right? Like Nintendo totally did what they wanted the mobile games to do. It's like get you into the quote unquote real games on the console, and it totally did that. So Fire Emblem Engage, I highly recommend it. I think it's really great. I'm glad I went into this with a different perspective than coming off of Three Houses, expecting something, right? Like, oh man, water. Let me tell you, water. It's good. Who knew? So yeah, Fire Emblem's great. I'm really loving it. I highly recommend it. Even if you're a Three Houses fan, go in with a different mindset, right? Because I think a lot of people who picked up Fire Emblem Engage went in with the mindset of like, oh, this is another Fire Emblem game, and Three Houses was the last one, so we should expect Three Houses again. And it's not. And it's fine. It doesn't need to be. And I think the game, from a purely gameplay and strategic kind of perspective, it's actually better than Three Houses. I think the relationship stuff is more interesting in Three Houses, which I think ultimately makes it better for a lot of people, including me. I think the relationship stuff there is better. But at the end of the day, I think from a purely gameplay perspective, this one is better. It runs much better too, honestly. I think the emblem mechanic is really, pardon the pun, I think it's really engaging to see which characters fit with which emblems, and trying to mix and match them, and kind of leveling up 2 or 3 emblems per character to see which ones you can use in battle, and kind of leveling up different types of moves for characters, which is cool. I'm just like really into it, to the point where like I'm going to really try to do everything. I've already done the Divine Paralog DLC, which is like the Three Houses kind of DLC that provides extra emblems. It's super cool. And I'm also unlocking other paralogs for the other emblems that I'm unlocking. So I unlocked Lucina recently, and Ike, and Byleth, and where I'm at now, I'm doing Byleth's paralog. I would say quest, but it's not a quest. It's just like, it's like a challenge. The different emblems challenge you, and then if you beat their challenge, you can unlock new bond levels with them. So like the base bond is like 1 through 10 is kind of like the base bond, and then there's like the advanced bonds with them, and it's 11 through 20. And if you complete their challenges, you get to unlock the advanced kind of challenge mode. And so that's where I'm at now. I really like Engage. It's super cool. I also played a little bit of Donkey Kong Country Returns. it's like one of the, I feel obligated to keep playing it because I know we were going to talk about it at some point, but I don't know if I'm going to keep playing it. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm kind of done with Donkey Kong. It's fun, but like, again, it's like it's the same issue I had with Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. It's like I was having a lot of fun until the game doesn't really change. It just like, yeah, the platforming gets harder and, some of the different stuff gets harder, but at the end of the day, it's still 2D platforming and there's only really so much you can do, especially with 2 characters instead of like, obviously Tropical Freeze has 4, right? With Dixie and Cranky, and then obviously Funky Kong if you want to do funky mode, but like limiting it to Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, like, I don't know, going back is hard. It's a great, if you haven't played Tropical Freeze, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is great. You should play it. If you've already played Tropical Freeze, it's really hard to go back to Donkey Kong Country Returns. So the last thing I want to talk about is the Fire Emblem mobile game. I have also poured probably about 60 hours into the mobile game and I haven't paid a cent. I'm on my 3rd playthrough of the main campaign and my 3rd playthrough of all the paralogs. I'm playing them on lunatic difficulty, which is like the hardest difficulty. I've unlocked like probably 300 and something heroes. 160 of them are 5-star heroes. So I've gotten a lot out of the game for free to the point where like I should probably throw them some money because it's a great Fire Emblem experience. I think the campaign is actually really great in how they kind of tie the old heroes into the new game. It's really cool to see the heroes kind of play nice with each other. I do want to point out though that like there's a lot of like every character kind of has their main form, right? But then like they have their event forms, right? Like I'll give you an example. I unlocked Lucina recently, and she's all armored up. She's got her cool bow. She looks like a knight, a really cool archer style knight person, right? And it's super cool. One of the events that went on recently, well, one of the unlockable character event things that they brought back was like the spring wedding something. I don't know, where all these characters are in like weird wedding attire, which is fine, right? But I unlocked a Lucina in a wedding thing, and it's like, what is going on in this thing? And like, my best character, the best character I have is Alear from Fire Emblem Engage, right? And I want to use her. I really do, because she's my most powerful character and my best character, defensively, offensively, you name it. Like, she's amazing. But like, it's summer beach time Alear in a very we'll say revealing swimwear, and it's really hard to use a character like that in in any sort of there are people around me situation, because they just will look at you like, what are you doing? But at the end of the day, it's still like a really great Fire Emblem experience. Even if you just want like if you're a fan of the 3DS games, right? If you're a fan of the 3DS games specifically, or the DS games, or whatever, download it and play through the campaign. It's 100% worth it. And like every level in the campaign gives you an orb, and 5 orbs unlocks a character. So like, what is there? There's so, and also like what it costs 1 orb to refill your stamina too, if you don't have stamina bottles, just as like a mechanic type thing. So like every level gives you an orb to unlock character. There are 9 books. Each book has 15 chapters, I think. And each chapter has anywhere between 5 and 7 missions in it. So like there's a lot of game there. So I honestly, if you want, even if you haven't played Fire Emblem at all and you're interested in Engage or Three Houses or picking up one of the 3DS games because you have a 3DS lying around and you have never played one, like, try it. Seriously, try it. It's great. It's a great Fire Emblem experience. It's a light Fire Emblem experience too. So like, you only have 4 characters on your team at a time instead of like anywhere between 8 and 12, honestly. And so like it allows you to learn the Fire Emblem mechanics of like the rock paper scissors mechanics of like, okay, sword beats axe, axe beats spear, spear beats sword. So that's kind of like the main one. And then there's like the magic kind of thing too of like there are different they're all colors schemed too, so like red beats blue, or red beats green, green beats blue, and blue beats red, right? Like that's kind of like the mechanic here. And then there's, obviously it goes deeper, like there's armored enemies who have, they're higher in defense, but they can only move 1 space instead of 2, or enemy or characters on horses can move like 2 or 3 spaces. Flying enemies, can move all over the map, even over gaps, but are susceptible to archers, right? Like that kind of thing. So like it kind of teaches you that kind of stuff too. It's almost like Pokemon in a way. I mean, I guess it is kind of like Pokemon in a way, but like, it's a great way to learn the mechanics and learn about all these characters. So if you find characters that you're like, oh, that character's interesting, you can go pick up that game and play, later and play through that game with that character. You can find out where a lot of these your favorite Smash Brothers characters come from. Also, like the cool thing too is like I learned, like I kind of forgot where some of these characters came from. Like Micaiah comes from the Wii game, Radiant Dawn, I think, right? Radiant Dawn, Path of Radiance. Radiant Dawn is the Wii game. I always get the GameCube and the Wii games mixed up. But, Radiant Path of Radiance, Micaiah comes from that, right? And so like I kind of forgot about Micaiah a little bit until I started playing the mobile game. And then she's also an Emblem and Engage. And I'm like, oh man, I should go back and try to like, I don't know, play the Wii game or something. So that's kind of like a cool thing, because the mobile game has updated over the course of 8 years at this point, and includes like every Fire Emblem games, even the games that haven't come over here, like like the Genealogy of the Holy War or whatever it's called, and a lot of games that haven't come over here or have been translated differently here. Like the mobile game kind of has a lot of that in it, so it's cool. I love it. It's really cool. Also has a really cool auto battle system, so like if you're training characters to level up, like you can just throw auto battle on for, I don't know, anywhere between 2 and I guess however much stamina you have and however much you want to like level up certain characters. Like you can just throw that on and watch them level up, and like you still have to tap the screen to like every time they level up to like advance to the next move, but like they'll move for you, they'll attack for you, that kind of thing. It's really nice. So definitely check out Fire Emblem Heroes on mobile if you are interested at all in Fire Emblem and you don't want to spend, $60 or $70 on the current games, or even the DS and 3DS games are starting to get really hard to find. So Shadow Dragon and Fates and Awakening and Echoes. So yeah, I guess you could also play the GBA games on NSO, right? But yeah. But that's kind of all I've been playing. Speaking of the 3DS games, however, I have some weekly pickups that I would like to share. So let me pick them up here. Okay. So I got the Fire Emblem Chrom amiibo. It's not the Smash one. It's the Fire Emblem one. I did get three more 3DS games as I continue my collection for that console as well. I got Codename Steam, which Amazon said they weren't going to ship it, and UPS or yeah, UPS said that they weren't going to ship it to my house. So I messaged Amazon and said, hey, I'm having trouble getting this game from UPS because it's snowy out. What do you want me to do? And they refunded me. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to get it. And then it showed up in my mailbox like 2 days later. So whatever. I got it for free. Thanks, Amazon. I got Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia, which I'm really excited to play at some point soon. And then I got Fire Emblem Fates Conquest because I only have Birthright. The last thing I got, though, however, is the Art of Fire Emblem Awakening. I think this. Oh, my daughter and I looked through it, and like it is an amazing art book. All the character art and like all the backstories of all the characters, and even the characters that show up in this game that aren't originally from this game, they have like little backstories about them and like why they're in this game and which games they originally came from and all that stuff. It's super cool. And it was on sale for like $17. So it's like $49.99 for $17. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Are you insane? Of course I am. So those are my pickups, my weekly pickups. All right, let's get into this family news. Family news, not family news. Jeez, my nose is really stuffy. I'm sorry if I'm sniffling into this microphone. I don't mean to. I know it's annoying. I'm sorry. The weather changed from, New York and then getting on a plane and airports and stuff, like catching something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. So, all right, let's get into family news. Oh man, I think I'm going to sneeze. If I sneeze, I'm sorry, everybody. It's going to happen. So, all right, this first set of news. So the biggest news this week has to be Nintendo is discontinuing gold points, which is one of Nintendo's best incentives. I've pulled up a bunch of stories here from Nintendo Life because being out of town, I didn't have a chance to get the doc ready. So I kind of pulled up a bunch of stories from Nintendo Life to read off, and we'll get back to like the normal kind of setup next week. Once Ed comes back and we can, I am not out of town and all that stuff. So apologies that this episode is a little bit different. Yeah, so Nintendo discontinuing gold points, which, if you buy digitally, you get 300 gold points to go towards games, which is, is a big deal. 300 is $3. And so if you save those up over the course of a year or so, like get a free game or 2 or 3, depending if you're buying indies or not, like it's a good deal, man. So Nintendo has announced that it is discontinuing My Nintendo Gold Points program, stating that it will no longer be possible to earn points from March 24th. After March 24th, platinum points, however, will remain unchanged. Gold points were rewarded through the purchase of both digital and physical Switch games, allowing you to apply them to future digital purchases for a reasonable discount, even if it's just 5% of the purchase price. With the odd additional promotion here and there, it was frankly one of the best incentives on the system and a great way to save a bit of extra cash for those upcoming big first-party games. Nintendo has stated that there are a couple of scenarios in which you will still be able to earn points after the cutoff date. The first is if you happen to pre-order a digital game prior to the 24th. Even if payment is made after this date, you will still earn the relevant points. Second, if you purchase an eligible physical game after the cutoff date, so long as the purchase was made within the first 12 months of the game's initial release. And Nintendo clarified that the gold points will be redeemable for a maximum of 12 months after you have earned them. So you'll be able to save them up. It seems there is some word that Nintendo will likely replace the gold points program with something similar when the Switch 2 has found its footing. The company will no doubt want that extra 5% during the initial rush of the new console, but we wouldn't be surprised if a new scheme is detailed at some point in 2025 or 2025 and 26. So yeah, it kind of sucks. I really like the gold points program. I've gotten a lot of games based off of the gold points. Digitally, a lot of indies, a lot of, different, even discounts on digital first party games. Like sometimes if I really, really like a game, I will buy it digitally just to have on my console without having the cartridge in. Or, it's it really stinks. I think the gold points program is a great initiative. Like, especially like they've been pushing the eShop games for so long, and you get triple the points for digital games over physical games, which is crazy, right? Um, just to get you to buy the digital game. It's so crazy. And the fact that it's just going away, kind of, I don't know. It feels odd. It feels like an end of an era or something. So, I know a lot of people really like the gold points program. I don't know. It really sucks. The voucher program too. Like the voucher program's a great thing too, and that was a great way to like kind of double up on things, right? Where like, okay, I bought the vouchers. I can use a voucher on a first party game, and when I buy a first party game at full, with one of these vouchers, I still get my 300 gold points that I can spend later. And that it was a good deal, man. It was awesome. It would kind of surprise me if Nintendo didn't have something new lined up for Switch 2. But it also wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, honestly. I mean, it is Nintendo, and obviously games get more expensive, and our, budgets are getting larger every day. And I wonder, here's the thing. I think Nintendo games are going to start being $70 on the next console in some way. But if like, I would probably trade the gold points program to keep Nintendo games at $60 next gen, right? Right? I don't know. Or like keep the price of the console down. I don't know. I feel like that would be an even easy trade for me, you know? But hey, they're not in the business of making people happy. They're in the business of making money, right? That's all game systems. Nintendo's a little bit different than most, but at the end of the day, it is a business. They got to do what's right for the business. And if that keeps like prices down on games or prices down on the console, it's not a game changer for me. It was just like a little nice bonus every time I bought a digital game. It's like, oh, here's, even an indie game is like, here's like, 75 gold coins for your purchase. I'm like, oh, neat, So, yeah, rip gold coins. All right, our next story. Nintendo has renewed some trademarks. Nintendo has renewed. Let's see. As Nintendo gears up for Switch 2 broadcast in April, it got plenty of other things as well as its day-to-day operations going on behind the scenes. With this in mind, some trademark renewals have surfaced in Japan, including the famous Seal of Quality. The trademarks of these seals reference all sorts of video game related things, such as home video game consoles, ROM cartridges storing video games program software. Nintendo also appears to have renewed the trademark for the Legend of Zelda series, covering goods and services, including appliances, food, and medical related items, and much more. Cool. I can't wait to have my Legend of Zelda Tylenol when I have a headache. Of course, trademark renewals don't always lead to anything. And for companies like Nintendo, it's often just business as usual when it comes to protecting intellectual properties. In saying this, the Seal of Quality renewal has already sparked discussion online, with some fans using this as an opportunity to voice their frustrations about the state of the Switch eShop, which has been overrun by shovelware and supposed scam games in recent years. Yeah, that is a problem. the scam games and stuff on the eShop, but you know, Nintendo needs to fix the eShop for sure. But yeah, I this is a nothing burger to me, honestly. Like, renewing trademarks is a big thing across companies. Like, Disney does it with Mickey Mouse every year, right? Because as different variations of Mickey Mouse go into public domain, they can trademark specific versions of Mickey Mouse without, you know, it's a way to protect things, and I get it. I know people were really excited when Sega renewed Skies of Arcadia a couple weeks ago. I think we talked about it, and that would be great if we got even like a remaster of Skies of Arcadia Legends or something. But at the end of the day, like, that's something that Sega owns, and renewing the trademark is important if you want to keep that series somewhat, in your back pocket. And, it's business as usual, in my opinion. But I do agree they need to fix the eShop on the Switch 2. That would be my thing. Sony's getting rid of some of these shovelware, scam games, which is nice to see somebody taking initiative. It's not amazing, but it's happening. So, yeah, good on them. All right. A Pokemon Presents has been announced for the 27th of February. Pokemon Company has announced that a Pokemon Presents showcase will be coming our way on February 27th at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Pokemon Day. So that's, Thursday, I think? I think it's Thursday this week. Of course, it'll come as a surprise to no one. The Pokemon Company always tends to use the anniversary of Red and Green's Japanese release date to show us what's happening in the world of Pokemon in the year ahead, and this year is no exception. Before we move on with this article, we do know that obviously Pokemon Legends ZA is coming this year. I wonder if we'll get a release date and some sort of, story kind of thing. What's going on with that? I'm also kind of anticipating some sort of. I think we're going to get a remake of some sort this year. Probably on Switch 1, right? Maybe Switch 2. Maybe Nintendo wants to push it to Switch 2 because so it'll sell units. But, I think we're going to get some sort of remake this year of. My guess would be Silver and Gold, honestly. Since, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee were kind of remakes of Red and Blue. I think Silver and Gold would be the way to go, honestly, at this point. As much as I want like a full-on, almost 3D remake of Red and Blue, because those are my games, I still have my red cartridge somewhere buried in these boxes behind me. But I know there's a lot of love for Silver and Gold, and let's see, we got Diamond and Pearl already. So what, Ruby and Sapphire? Did we get remakes of those at some point? I don't know. I think it would be nice to get Silver and Gold, like true console versions of those. But it would really surprise me if we got a new game at this point. It'd be awesome would be if they partnered with Square Enix and got the HD 2D engine and remade Red and Blue on that. That'd be awesome. I would love that so much. Continuing on, what the showcase will actually contain. Now that's where the fun starts. Naturally, we're braced for disappointment. These events have been somewhat boring affairs in the past, but there's a lot more happening in the world of Pokemon these days. And with Switch 2 now officially known quantity, anything could happen. Our fingers are crossed at a better look at Pokemon ZA, Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Go, Cafe Remix, crossover to classic games on NSO would be cool, like Red and Blue, just Gold and Silver. That'd be cool to promote Gold and Silver later in the, like, remakes of Gold and Silver later in the year. You'd put Gold and Silver on the Game Boy And so, I don't know. Again, I'm not a big Pokemon person. I do really like the originals to an extent, although they are extremely hard to go back to. I would really hope that somebody says, hey, look, gold and silver. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get in there. Give me a Cyndaquil, a Bayleaf. I forget what the water Pokemon's name is. Let's go. All right. Speaking of remakes, Activision appears to be teasing a Tony Hawk return. This seems to be some sort of, let's see. Okay. So the original story was earlier this week, professional skater Tyshawn Jones mentioned that he was in the new Tony Hawk remaster coming out soon. But if that wasn't already enough to get diehard skateboarding fans excited, Activision's first-person shooter Call of Duty Black Ops 6 now seemingly teased a new set of remasters of its Season 2 map Grind. The skate park-themed map, so that's cool, featured in Black Ops 2 and 4, is located in Venice Beach, California. And now a poster inside the skate shop features the date 3/4/25. March 4th, in the style of Tony Hawk font. As many fans have highlighted, the date also happens to match up with previous rumors about the next remasters being the third and fourth entries in the Pro Skater series. Tony Hawk even replied to this with an eyeball emoji. I love the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remasters. I have it on Switch. I have it on Xbox. Those are some great remasters. I love the Tony Hawk series up through... I guess Thug 1 and 2. What was American Wasteland after that? I don't remember the order at this point, but I played a lot of Tony Hawk. I also played a lot of the BMX games that were around at that time, like Dave Mears Pro BMX and Matt Hoffman's BMX, whatever. I don't remember who was which and what, but those games were excellent. And yeah, I would love a 3 and 4 remaster. I think 3 is amazing. 3 is my favorite, I think, out of all of them. 3 was the second game I owned on GameCube. Tony Hawk 3, I got it with money I got for my birthday. I remember, so I got a GameCube for my birthday that year with Luigi's Mansion, and I got a bunch of money and gift cards to Best Buy, and so I went and got Tony Hawk 3, a memory card, and that nasty orange controller for GameCube. And I beat Luigi's Mansion, and I played Tony Hawk until Christmas when I got Pikmin and Smash Brothers, and I still played Tony Hawk 3 was just, it's an amazing game. I love Tony Hawk 3 so much, and I hope that we get the 3 and 4 remasters, because after the 1 and 2 remasters, that team, what was the team's name? I keep wanting to say Visual Concepts, but that's the NBA 2K team. Why can't I think? Anyways, that team went and got absorbed into Blizzard, and they did the Diablo 2 remaster, and I think they helped with Diablo 4. So, I wonder who's doing this remaster. I hope it's them. Obviously, that Microsoft has purchased them since then, and there's been a lot of restructuring since then, and Activision is under new management at this point, but man, this would be awesome. I love the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remasters. They're just fantastically done remasters. So, all right, the last news story we're going to get into is for me specifically, and it's a new week, so a new update for Disney Dreamlight Valley, everybody. The next free update has been detailed. Will be hitting platforms on the 26th of February. This update will see Aladdin and Jasmine join the game, along with a brand new realm. I'm guessing it's Agrabah. So, after discovering an ancient mysterious artifact in the desert, the entire city of Agrabah has been covered in a dangerous sandstorm. Help Aladdin and Jasmine uncover the secret behind the artifact and return Agrabah to its original state by joining their friend, so they can join their friends in Dreamlight Valley. Take part in an all-new quest for both newcomers and even unlock Aladdin's iconic flying friend Magic Carpet as an animal companion. So that's cool. Love it. Love it. Let's see. Players looking for even more fun with the Floating Islands feature will get 4 new areas to decorate with the upcoming update. Peaceful Meadow, Dazzle Beach, Glade of Trust, and Forgotten Lands, all unlockable with Dreamlight. With these additions, every biome in the base game now has a floating island counterpart. Other additions and improvements include a new search bar for recipes while cooking, a slow cooker for players can queue up multiple meals at once, and more room size options for players' house customization. Players looking to add elegance and tranquility to the valley will have a chance with Oasis Retreat, Star Path. Take part in relaxing activities like picking fruit, cooking, gardening, and having conversations with your villager friends who unlock all new resort-inspired decorative themes, such as Critter Companion, Bath, palm trees, and more. It's time to relax and give your valley a new look while doing it. So, Disney Dreamlight Valley, I still really like this game a lot. I think it is worth playing if you are an Animal Crossing fan and a Disney fan. Play it. It's fun. That's my opinion. So, yeah, that's where I'm at there. It's fun. Do it. Play it. It's fun. All right, that's it for Fammy news. Let's see some upcoming games for Nintendo Switch. Again, I apologize. I have not written out the exact games coming. Let's see. Let me look some of this up real quick. All right. So, obviously, I'm trying to see what's coming to Nintendo Switch Online. So, all right. So, free game trials. EA Sports FC is your free game trial from February 24th through March 2nd, which is cool. That's cool that's your trial. I've been thinking about that. By the way, I thought about getting NBA 2K on Switch this week because it's only $15 and I really like it. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Nothing super exciting. There are some updates coming to Overwatch. The season 15, Honor and Glory is coming to Overwatch season 2, or Overwatch 2 season 15. Upgrade heroes with perks, competitive ranked reset, galactic weapon skins, mythic, Pixius and Yada, and loot boxes return. Oh my, great! So that's cool. Also, Fortnite is getting a new season. Let's see. Ransack Fletcher Kane's banks, pull off train heists, and more, and make an explosive getaway in Fortnite Battle Royale Chapter 6 Season 2 Lawless starting on the 21st, which is already out. So those are your updates. Let's see. As far as new games go, upcoming... Oh, sorry. Did not mean to do that. Upcoming games for your Nintendo Switch. What is it, February? Let's see. We have... 22nd. Starting on the 25th. Would be Ninja 5.0 is coming out on the 25th. Omega 6, The Triangle Stars, is coming out on the 25th. Or the 28th, I'm sorry. And then that's it for Switch. So nothing really new coming out. No new NSO updates either this week, it looks like. Yeah. So that's what's coming in Nintendo Switch. And let's see if there's any Nintendo Music updates. I'm really sorry I'm doing this on the fly, everybody. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Nintendo Music. Nintendo Music's latest update adds 3DS Street Pass, Mi Plaza music. That's cool. That was earlier this week. Let's see, Golden Sun. That was okay. Yeah. So the newest thing is the Street Pass Mi Plaza soundtrack is up on Nintendo Switch Online. So that's cool. Let's see. That's Pack Watch. I think that's really it in terms of new things for Nintendo Switch. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's gonna do it. I don't really have anything else to say. Let me make sure there's nothing else. I'm really, yeah. I mean, it's the calm before the storm right now, right? It's it's Switch 2 is on the horizon, and doesn't seem like we're getting a Nintendo Direct, which is fine. Just a lot of things that are not a lot going on. So Xenoblade, I do want to say that there's a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition coverage out there now. The preview cycle has started. Nintendo Life and a few other outlets have their hands-on experience with Xenoblade Chronicles X. I encourage you to go check it out. I think it's really cool. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for people to play it. I really loved what I played of it on the Wii U. Yeah, go check it out. I think that this world, Mira, is so large and so interesting, and there's a lot going on screen at all time. I can't believe this is. I mean, I couldn't believe it was running on Wii U, let alone now it's going to run on Switch with some new features and upgraded visuals and stuff like that. Very, very excited to see this game in action. So go check it out. But that's going to do it. I'm going to save our questions for next week when Ed's back, so we can kind of have a back and forth on these questions. But Nintendo Pow Block 429 in the books. I wanted to get this out there for everybody. Thank you for tuning in to this solo ride of Nintendo Pow Block. You can find us every Monday on your podcast service of choice. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork, where you get early access and exclusive perks for as little as $1 for a lot of new content like the One Up podcast, for Nintendo Pow Block. You get the Boss Rush podcast pre-show twice a month. You get the early access to book club, early access to expansion pass, and you can become a Patreon producer at the $5 level. And that grants you a whole bunch of perks. So go do it. If not, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/BossRushNetwork. If you want to rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please do. Leave us a rating and a nice review. It really helps with discoverability. And, leave some comments below the video or on the website at bossrush.net. Leave some comments. Tell us what you are thinking about Switch 2. Tell us what you're thinking about, things that are happening in the industry. What are you playing? Those types of things. And that's it. Check out our website, bossrush.net, for our daily banters, our features, reviews, listicles, news, and more episodes of podcasts, more videos, stuff like that. And I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of Nintendo Pow Block. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.